So I'm very excited because we have our first guest on the Perfect Dose podcast. I brought Camrie, our esthetician at the Perfect Dose. She is literally an encyclopedia for skincare, you guys.
Every time you leave the house, you need to be wearing your sunscreen. A summer-safe chemical peel that I love is the Bio-Repeel. You don't peel it all from it. You're still going to get the benefits of clearing out those pores, and you get some collagen stimulating, which is an added bonus.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Perfect Dose podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Kristen Herzog, board-certified nurse practitioner and injection specialist. On today's episode, I am so excited because nobody is talking about summer skin tips. Everybody talks about winter tips and what you need to do for your skin in the winter, but nobody talks about summer. So on this episode, we are going to break down summer-safe treatments ideal for the summer, and some product swaps that you need to know to take care of your skin in the heat. So I'm very excited because we have our first guest on the Perfect Dose podcast. I brought Camrie, our esthetician at the Perfect Dose. She is literally an encyclopedia for skincare, you guys. She is a skin expert. So she will be joining me on today's episode to break down summer skin tips.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. So excited to be here. I've been a licensed esthetician for over 5 years now and a certified laser tech as well. I've had a ton of experience in different med spas, worked with tons and millions of products, so I have a lot of ingredient knowledge as well. And I was actually a certified trainer for Vivace, which is radio frequency microneedling. So I have a lot of background in working with a lot of different providers and a lot of different offices. So I love to bring that educational side into the treatment room as well.
Yay! So for those of you who don't know, Vivace is radio frequency microneedling. I know today's episode is not about that, but for those listeners who are like, what the heck is that? Radio frequency microneedling is all the rave, and Camrie was a trainer for them. So super exciting. Okay, Camrie, so let's break this down for all of our listeners that are super unfamiliar with skincare. What are safe summer practices for your skin?
First and foremost, sunscreen every day. Every time you leave the house, you need to be wearing your sunscreen. That is like the biggest thing. If you can take away anything from today's episode, gotta wear your broad spectrum sunscreen every single day, at least a 30 or up.
Okay, and so just to clarify, putting my makeup on with my SPF in it is not enough.
It's not enough. So anytime you add more ingredients, you add those dimethicones or those filler ingredients that make your makeup so great, you're diluting your sun factor. So you want to make sure that you have at least a 30, make sure it says broad spectrum or physical on it, because that's going to give you the best protection for your skin.
Okay, and then when you say broad spectrum and diluting sun factor, what does that mean?
Yeah, so every single bottle of sunscreen, it should be cleared by the sunscreen organization. Don't quote me on what they're called, but they're always going to have a label on it. So it's going to tell you what kind of ingredient is going to be inside your sunscreen. So the two physical sunscreen ingredients are going to be zinc and titanium. So you want to look for those ingredients on your bottle of sunscreen. If it says it on your makeup, that's great. Just make sure it has a high enough percentage on it to cover your face.
Perfect. Okay, so wearing your sunscreen, what else? Because I think a lot of people, including myself, sometimes when you hear you have to stay out of the sun in order to get treatments in the summer, it can be really daunting and make you feel like you have to like literally sit in your house, windows shut, no sun exposure, can't even run to my car. So
exactly.
What do you think?
Your provider's always going to ask you, have you had any direct sun exposure in the past 2 weeks? And you're like, oh my gosh, well, I just walked from my car inside. That was direct sun exposure. But we just want to define what direct sun exposure means. It just means that we're not going and basking out in the sun without any protection, without our sunscreen on. So you're going to want to make sure you're staying in the shade as much as possible, wearing your sunscreen and reapplying every 2 hours, because that's when our sunscreen wears off, and making sure we can wear a hat, and then again, just avoiding that direct sun exposure. You can still get your treatments during the summer, broad range of all the treatments that we offer here. We just want to make sure that we're being smart about how often we're in the sun and how often we're reapplying our sunscreen.
Okay, perfect. So basically what you're saying is if I'm going to be outside going for a hike, if I have my sun shield on, I apply sunscreen every 2 hours, I come home, I don't have any sunburn, I'm practicing sun-safe practices.
You are practicing sun-safe practices. You're still living your life. You're just doing it in a safe practice.
Perfect. What about the pool?
The pool gets a little tricky. So we want to make sure we're reapplying our sunscreen. We want to make sure it's waterproof as well. And you still need to be reapplying. But depending on the pool that you're in or the body of water you're in, you get that reflection off the sun onto your skin. And then if it's a chlorine pool, it's actually going to be that extra chemical factor that's going to exfoliate your skin. So you really got to be safe after you get these procedures done to avoid going into waters for anywhere from 3 to 5 days, depending on the procedure you get done.
Okay, that's not bad at all. So 3 to 5 days, no pools, no ocean, and then make sure I wear my hat and my sunscreen.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. So let's get into it. Let's break down what skin treatments are ideal for summer. And I thought in order to make this really relatable and easy for everybody listening, that we would break it down based on skin concern. Yep. So talk to me, what do you think if we are focusing on skin clarity? So like our pores, our acne, just making sure our skin's like super clear, what treatment do you recommend for the summer?
Love it. So always facials are going to be safe all year round. So whether it be a hydrofacial or a diamond glow or your dermaplane, those are safe all year. If you really want to target clarity, chemical peels are usually a great route to go with. A summer safe chemical peel that I love is the Bio-Repeel. You don't peel at all from it. You're still going to get the benefits of clearing out those pores, and you get some collagen stimulating, which is an added bonus. But Bio-Repeel is going to be that summer safe chemical peel for you.
Okay, so I am really excited to hear about Bio-Repeel. So traditional chemical peels, like I'm thinking, okay, I put this chemical peel on, my skin's shedding like a snake. It's horrible. It's dry. It's itchy. It's flaky. There's lots of downtime. But Bio-Repeel is a no downtime peel, correct? So can you talk to us about like what ingredients are in the Bio-Repeel that you love?
Yeah, I love the TCA. TCA is what's going to be helping with that texture. So any pitted acne scarring or fine lines and wrinkles or pores, the TCA is what's going to help even out all that texture that we're working with. There's also great brightening ingredients in it that are going to help even out your skin tone. So if you struggle with post-acne marks, it's a great option as well. But just how it's driven into the skin, it's not going to be working at that surface level. So if we worked with a chemical peel on the surface level, that's where you get all that dry, flaky, lizard type skin. But because we're pushing this peel deeper into the skin with that TCA, you get the added collagen stimulating benefits without all the peeling.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so Bio-Repeel needs to be on your summer skin must list. So talk to me, how much is a Bio-Repeel, and like, can I combine this with other treatments?
We love combo treatments. That's where we see the greatest results. You can add this onto microneedling. You can add it onto Vivace. You can put it with your IPL. You can put it with your dermaplane, your diamond glows. It's just the cherry on top to help get your skin nice and smooth and nice and even.
Okay, yay. How many treatments do I need?
You can do once a week for 6 weeks, or you can add it on during your monthly facial. The best results, you're going to do that series of about 6.
Okay, so would you say if you have a skin concern, for everyone listening, like if you're suffering with hyperpigmentation or acne, and hyperpigmentation is like dark spots on your skin, then maybe you need the series?
Yes, for
versus
sure.
Prevention.
Right.
I can just come get it.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Amazing. Now, what about skin texture? What treatments are fun in the summer for skin texture?
Love microneedling, but we always want to make sure that we're healing our skin as much as possible. So doing our microneedling with a growth factor option. So whether that be PRP or exosomes, that's what we're doing for skin texture during the summer.
Okay, so for those of you who have been following me for a while, you know I'm all about supercharging your treatments, biohacking aesthetics. So when Camrie's talking about adding PRP and exosomes, this is literally supercharging your microneedling. So can you tell everybody, what are exosomes?
Yeah, exosomes are growth factors that are going to help with collagen, elastin, helping with skin tightening, healing. You want to get as many growth factors onto our skin right after microneedling as possible, just so you can speed up that healing process. Anytime you put like a controlled wound with collagen stimulating treatments such as microneedling, your body's going to kickstart that process for growth factors, and adding those on top of it are just going to help increase your results.
Okay, awesome. So microneedling, can you talk to us about microneedling and like who is a candidate for that and why you love this treatment in the summer?
Yeah, microneedling, it's going to help with fine lines, wrinkles, pore size, acne scarring. It's even great for people who do have a little bit of discoloration, because we are going to be working from the top layer of the skin down. The top layer is where our pigment cells live, where that discoloration hangs out. So if I'm able to get the needles through that top layer into the bottom layer, then we can work on two birds with one stone. We're working on discoloration and we're working on that texture. So that's why I really love microneedling. But who's a candidate? Anyone who's not pregnant or breastfeeding.
Hey.
We do like to numb you for this treatment, so you're very comfortable. I know everyone's always worried about the words needles. It's a very comfortable procedure. We use the skin pen here and have had fabulous results. Any stubborn lines, microneedling is going to be our go-to for sure as well.
Okay, I love it. And how many treatments do you usually need for microneedling, and how often should you get it?
Oh, my go-to. So however many decades old you are, that's how many treatments you need.
Wait, I love this.
Yes. So we lose so much collagen every decade. So if we're losing like 1% of collagen a year, let's just say that, and you are a decade old, that's 10% of collagen that you just lost. So if I'm 50 years old, I'm going to need about 5 treatments to get back that collagen that I lost.
Okay, I love that. Now, if we were talking, and I know we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but for everybody listening, microneedling versus RF microneedling, why would you choose microneedling over RF?
It depends on the patient, of course. RF microneedling, I love for so many people because it's very minimal downtime. You are going to be still getting the benefits as you would normal microneedling, but the radio frequency aspect is actually going to cauterize that tissue, so you don't have as much downtime as traditional microneedling, and it makes it much quicker downtime, and then you get that skin tightening effect as well with that RF energy. Traditional microneedling, your downtime, you will be red and pink for about 3 days max. Some people heal faster, of course, but on the cautionary side, 3 days would be your max for that microneedling downtime.
Okay, perfect. So for skin texture, we want to microneedle with PRP, aka a vampire facial, and PRP is where you draw your own blood and you utilize your own growth factors, or you want to add exosomes on top of your microneedling treatment to supercharge it for summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really highly recommend the exosomes just because they are the most consistent. Your own PRP, you want to make sure before that treatment you're nice and hydrated, you're eating your vegetables, you don't have anything going on inside that might affect your growth factors that we get from the PRP that we get.
Yeah, and that's something, you guys, your own PRP is very dependent on your age, on your health. So some people get really great results. Some people don't get really great results. But with exosomes, it's more of a controlled delivery, like predictable outcome, right? Okay, amazing. Now, what about skin tightening? What treatment do you recommend for the summer?
Always Morpheus.
Even in the winter.
Even Morpheus year round. We love it so much. We've had the most consistent results with it, which I love. Love it for contouring jaw lines, helping tighten up the neck. We've had really amazing results with that. And even comboing it with our threads and comboing it with our Sculptra. Really great results.
I love it. Okay, so since we're talking about Morpheus, I feel like we have to address some myths surrounding Morpheus, because a lot of people, when you hear Morpheus, you're like, oh my gosh, does it actually melt all the fat in my face?
It's how you use the device. Yes, it has the capability to do that. And I know some providers out there love to do that. It just depends on what depth you're working with and what heat you're working with as well. So if we're working on face and we're just wanting to rejuvenate and we're just wanting to skin tighten, I'm not going to go into your fat pads and dissolve all your filler and your fat.
Yeah,
that's just not what I'm going to do. That's not our concern. However, if I want to dissolve the fat underneath my chin, you best bet I'm going to go as deep and as hot as possible to get rid of that.
Yes. Okay, so that's super important, you guys. We want fat in our face, in our cheeks. It keeps us young. So you need to choose a provider that has experience, like Camrie saying, that understands tissue depths, that understands how to control the device to get you those outcomes. So for Morpheus, you can only melt fat when desired, and it is all about choosing the right provider. At Perfect Dose, we are a top 10 Morpheus provider in the nation. So we do a ton of Morpheus. We get amazing results. We don't have complications like melting unwanted fat because we understand how to use this amazing device.
Yeah.
Okay. Yay. So I want to switch gears a little bit and I want to talk about products, because now we know what treatments are ideal for the summer. And we said for clarity, we love chemical peels, specifically the Bio-Repeel because of its no downtime properties. Then for skin texture, we like microneedling with PRP and exosomes. For tightening, we love Morpheus. Correct. Now, let's talk about products, because I feel like in the winter, we're talking about moisturizing our skin, protecting our skin's barrier. So does that go away in the summer? Like what are some tips for people?
Yeah, we still need to take care of our skin in the summer. It's not going away or anything like that. However, it is we are in Arizona, we sweat quite a bit, just like getting in and out of our car. So we want to make sure that we're cleansing our face morning and night. That's a big one. Getting off the day or starting the day with a fresh face. I love the tonic for spraying throughout the day. It's antibacterial, so just prevents any breakouts. And then still need to do some exfoliating because that sweat does build up and that creates that oil barrier on our skin. So making sure we're still exfoliating with whatever exfoliant that works best for us. Some people, chemical exfoliant works great, like a toner pad. Some people, a more physical exfoliant, like a scrub, work better. I love the exfoliating polish. I actually use that on my full body. Just want to be nice and smooth. And then our products that we're putting on our skin. So since it's not going to be as dry outside, we don't need like a thicker cream for the summer. We want to stick with more hyaluronic acid based moisturizers. So that's why I love hydration boosting cream. I love HA5 or even the Even and Correct is great because it has that niacinamide in it, and that's going to help with retaining our moisture in our skin too.
Okay, so I want to like break this down because that sounds freaking amazing. So in the summer, we're going to cleanse. You should be cleansing all of the time, but specifically don't skip cleansing in the summer to get off all that bacteria from your skin. And then I want to talk about tonic because we talked about tonic, which is a toner spray. So for everybody listening, tonic has witch hazel in it, which is a natural astringent for our skin. So think of this as like hand sanitizer for your face. And then it has some AHAs in it. And can you talk a little bit about AHAs and why those can help your cell turnover?
Yeah, so AHAs are going to be an exfoliating factor. They're going to help bring out any oils inside your pores. So it's going to literally bring that oil out of your pore, which is pores when they get clogged. They cause breakouts. So we want to make sure we don't get any breakouts. So spraying this throughout the day, especially after a workout, before a workout, in between lunch, whatever you want to do in your car. You can't have too much tonic, which is great.
Okay, so get some tonic. Yeah. And then let's talk about exfoliating. So can you talk about why you would chemically exfoliate or physically exfoliate, maybe like certain skin types that would benefit from one versus the other? I love how you said that we have to exfoliate to keep our pores clean, because sometimes I feel like when we think exfoliating, we think like, oh, when our skin's like dry and flaky, we have to get off all the dead skin cells, but it sounds like there's a lot more to it. So
yeah, your pores can get filled with dead skin cells too. So it's to make sure that your products that you spend all your great money on, you want to make sure they get into your skin. And if you're just putting those hydrators, that hyaluronic acid just on top of your skin, those are dead skin cells. Why are you wanting to hydrate them? You want it to get into your skin, into your pores, so then it works better. So just keeping up with either that chemical exfoliant, especially if you are more acne prone or you have larger pores, those AHAs are going to help clear out those pores, get them all clean. So then when you put those products on, they work better. Okay. And then for more drier skin, scrubs are going to work a little bit better just because you can control how rough you're going to be applying it to your skin. So if you are more sensitive, I still usually recommend a scrub just because you can control how soft or how hard in certain areas of your face it'll be.
Okay, and so how often should you be physically exfoliating versus chemically exfoliating?
It varies from person to person, but a good rule of thumb, manually or physically exfoliating about twice a week, and then you can chemically exfoliate pretty much every day for some people, sometimes twice a day if you're lucky.
Can you do both?
You can definitely do both.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. So I love the way you said about taking this all the way down to your body, because this is a freaking hack, you guys. We only take care of our face, but if we're neglecting our neck, our chest, our hands, like my biggest fear in life is having like wrinkly boobs. I can't have it. So tell me, so you're using this in the shower and exfoliating your whole body.
Yep.
Okay. And we're going to link these products in the show notes for you guys so you can see. So what are the products that you're doing in the shower?
I'm doing exfoliating polish for whole body. What else am I using? I love the Fermentone for after, Fermentone lotion from Skin Medica. Love it so much. I even use Bakuchiol like on my knees and on my elbows, just because it's a nice oil base. So you'd put that on first and then your Fermentone on top of that.
Okay, so for those of you listening who don't know what Bakuchiol is a plant-based retinol alternative, and retinol is going to help with cell turnover. It's going to stimulate collagen. So Camrie, you're basically doing this for keeping your skin tight, preventing wrinkles, right?
Yes. And you could use a retinol, however, since it is summertime and I do go outside, I think Bakuchiol is a little bit safer option for the summer. Okay. Because it's not going to be as sun sensitizing as a retinol.
Okay, I love it. So I need to be exfoliating in the shower physically, and then I need to put my Bakuchiol on, and then my Fermentone.
You got it.
You guys, this is like next level. I'm so pumped about this.
Love it.
Okay, so next thing that we are going to discuss is hyperpigmentation, because now we have really broken down everything that you need to do in the summer, product-wise, how you need to switch your moisturizer to something a little bit more lightweight. We still need to be exfoliating. We definitely need to be using tonic. And then we just broke down like the best freaking body skin routine ever. So let's talk about hyperpigmentation, because that's something everybody suffers from. I feel like we get sun damage literally starting in our 20s. And although not everybody can see the sun damage, it's there. So can you tell the audience, what is hyperpigmentation?
Yeah, hyperpigmentation is anything that's not going to match your normal skin tone. So brown spots, even red spots can be classified as sun damage. We want to make sure that our skin is nice and even. And so when it's uneven, that's where we have pigmentation issues. Melasma is also classified under pigmentation issues. And melasma is going to be those darker patches like post-pregnancy or even switching any hormonal birth control. You can see that melasma start to flare up from any hormonal changes.
Okay, so melasma is more hormonal based versus hyperpigmentation is like sun damage.
Correct.
Okay, so we have to be using pigment inhibitors. So talk to me, what is a pigment inhibitor?
So inhibitor, just think stop. We want to make that pigment stop producing pigment. Those pigment cells that live on the surface of our skin, they get excited with heat, they get excited with sun, and so we have to do the opposite of that. We have to do very low sun and very low heat to keep that pigment happy and asleep.
Okay, and then what are our 3 ingredient high potency pigment inhibitors? You guys all need to literally take notes, write this down. It's so important to be using these on your skin.
Love it. So we also love non-hydroquinone options. So 3 big ingredients for that are going to be niacinamide, vitamin C, and then kojic acid, which are found in a lot of different products. So we just got to find the one that works best for each person and what's going to work best in their routine. But we love the even and correct system. So the pads, the serum, and even the spot treatment, ways to up your potency of those inhibitors are going to be using a retinol, using a good exfoliation routine, just kind of piecing together what routine is going to be best for your lifestyle and your skin.
Okay, I love it. So in order to be correctly treating our skin for pigment, we need to be using a vitamin C. Everybody needs to be on a vitamin C. That's like the number one thing I would run out and go buy. You need to start this in your 20s. And then maybe adding in something that has niacinamide, kojic acid, plus a retinoid.
Yep.
Okay.
You got it.
And in the summer, do we want to use retinoids still?
You have to be really safe about it. So you really got to be on your sunscreen application. You got to be making sure you're in the shade. Retinols do make you more sensitive to the sun, so we just have to be aware of our direct sunlight. Some people stop their retinols in the summer, but if you're going to be a religious SPF user, then go ahead and keep using it.
Okay, I love it. So I never stopped my retinoids, but when I was pregnant, I did switch to bakuchiol. So for everybody listening, we talked about using that on your body, but that is a superstar ingredient. If you're like, I can't remember to do my sunscreen every single day, you can at least use your bakuchiol serum instead in the summer to make sure that we're protecting your skin.
Yeah, love it.
Okay, yay. So I am so excited that we had Camrie on today's episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. You can follow me on Instagram at The Perfect Dose. I will see you guys next week.